In this video, we're going to talk about the lines and spaces and how we place the notes on those lines and spaces in both treble and bass clef. So we notice the treble clef is also called the G clef, and our bass clef is also called the F clef. Now, if you remember from our previous lessons, we always start at the bottom. So the first line in treble clef is going to be the letter E, and we can use this rhyme, every good boy does fine, to help remember the letter names of each line or space. This here is the symbol for a treble clef sign. It's also called the G clef because if we start right here on this line, this G line, and follow it and trace it around, it starts right there on a G. This is the symbol for bass clef, and it starts right here on this line here, which is the F, and we could follow it around and trace it. But you notice, if we look at our picture over here, and if you remember from the previous lessons, that we call the circle part of the note head. Wherever the note head is, that's where we get the letter name from. It doesn't matter where the stem is, it's where the note head is. So for treble clef, which is this top line symbol right here, you notice the first line is E, then we go to G, B, D, and F. So if the note is centered on the line, we would use that line name for the note. For in the spaces, you notice how the note fits in the space. So that would be an F, A, C, E. Spells the word face when we go from the bottom up. So the lines in treble clef, E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. So this is the note E. If the circle part of the note would be on the third line, it's a B. If the circle note head is on the top line, it's an F in treble clef. So that's treble clef. Now when we go down to bass clef, you notice we can look where the circles are, and in the lines, when we start the bottom, good boys do fine always, we notice there's a G if the note head is on the bottom line, then B, then D, F, and then A. If the note head is in the space, A, C, E, and then G, all cows eat grass. So that's an introduction to where our notes are on the staff. So take a lot of time, spend a lot of time memorizing where these notes are. Memorize the lines, memorize that it's the note head that is where we pick the letter name from. You can see from this picture. Keep looking at this picture in the diagram, realize whether we have bass clef, treble clef, and the rhyme for where the notes are on the staff.